Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Winston. Today I'm going to talk about the war between China and India in 1962 as a Chinese. If you're clicking this video, firstly I really want to appreciate you because you are very special. You are special because you can listen to a Chinese talk about the war between China and India in 1962. This means you must have the correct way of thinking. You can always find the value you disagree with. Even I'm Chinese, I talk about the war in 1962. I may have my bias, but you still could stand up this. This means you can always switch your perspective. You have the true wisdom. So right now I'm going to give you my comprehension about the war between China and India in 1962. We all know from the India and China's media narratives, they may have a totally different story about the war. In the India's narratives, the China actually invaded Tibet, and since then, the China and India they began to have a border, and then China invaded India, and they began to humiliate India and try to take the leadership of India because China at this time was experiencing great forward leap and also experienced great natural disaster and famine. So this is why they try to attract people's attention and solve their own problem by punishing India. I want to say from the China side, the India try to occupy the Tibet and also try their best to push and getting land from China. And as in the China's media's narratives, the India are stupid and silly, and also they always don't know who they really are. They think they are greater than China, something like that. I want to say the both of sides they have a great bias against each other, and this bias can always be the stimulus of the war, which is necessary for both of us. And this is why I believe the truth is so important for both of us to know about them. And also I believe the truth, if we all pursue the truth, we are getting close to each other, and then we can find the foundation to cooperate with each other. And I really believe this potential between China and India because both of us sides actually we are friends more than enemies. So right now I'm going to give you my comprehension about China and India in the 1962. The thing maybe is like that. In the almost 100 years ago, the British draw a line between China and India, or you can say between the Tibet and India, and it's not accepted by the China actually, and it's also not accepted by Tibet. But after the independence, and India think the territory behind on the south of the Magma line actually the legacy of British Empire. India may have their own reasons, but also I have to say that from the China's perspective, since they never draw the line, and this line actually is on the north of the Magma on the actually control line. So the traditional line. So this at least make this issue be very at least make this land between these two lines is become a distributed land. And the best way for us to solve this border issue is just negotiation. And at the 1950s, because China and India are both friends, so the Nehru tried to make good relationship with China, and Mao also tried to make a good relationship with India. So this actually become one of the problems why China and India will fight. Because China and India, they have a good relationship. The Nehru always try to be nice to China, and he never really tell China what's his really expectation about territory. From what we see later, actually the Nehru's expectation about territory is that he want to control all of this distributed land, no matter the western line or the eastern line, or even the middle line between middle border between China and India. This is his expectation, and from China's expectation, looks like China try to hold the territory on the western distributed land, and also China I don't think China tried to take all of this land between the Maghon line and the traditional actual control line. But he really thinks this can be this is negotiable. And at least they will not let India take all of this land, or at least China should still have to take the land in the western, the outside chain. There's a difference between the comprehension about the exactly same issue. But at the very beginning, because they have a good relationship, they will never really expose their real intention. They all try to be nice to each other. So this huge difference between them actually become a danger for them to solve this problem later, because birds of side feel when birds of side tell their real intention and birds of side feel they are cheated by each other. And this becomes the reason why they become to fight and also fighting against it with each other. And also there's a huge cultural difference, or you can see the huge political difference between China and India. Because from the China's perspective, China expects India always be consistent. I have to say, from the Chinese side, it's easy to keep the consistency because of China's political system. And also from the India system, actually Nehru, who could not just represent himself, he's the prime minister of this country. He could not take in charge of anything. And when the public all get the theories, when public are all controlled by the nationalism, and the people all try to maximize their benefits, they believe all the land, distributed land belongs to India. This really doesn't allow the Nehru to make any negotiation between China and India. And this is also the reason why China and India will fight in the 1962, because from the Chinese side, the Chinese people believe that, okay, we actually already gave you the best treatment to always pursue the possibility of being peace, because we need you as our friend. India is so important to us. We don't want to fight with you. And all this problem can be negotiable. And even we can sacrifice some benefits, but we want to keep these friends. But from the Nehru side, Nehru maybe really want to get this land, but Nehru also, he is scared. He doesn't want to lose people's support, because when people are getting so nationalistic, even Nehru just make a little bit of negotiation, the people will treat him like a traitor. So this is why the Nehru are so he's so, how to say, he looks like so stubborn when he deals with China, and even disagree with some very neutral requests between China and India, because China, it's a very sensitive time between the 1962. The troops are too near, and China just say, okay, we have a distribution issue, and right now we just let our troops leave each other for 14 kilometers, and it's good for each other. It's actually very neutral. It's good for each other, and we don't talk about the distribution issue. We don't talk about who owns this land. We just want our army could leave each other, and this is the best way to avoid the war. But India still keep pushing. From Chinese side, actually this is extremely rude and extremely arrogant. But from Nehru's side, there's so many reasons why Nehru doing this. Firstly, he doesn't want to lose the support of the people, because people are getting mad. The public, they are not so rational like the political leaders sometimes. And also from the Nehru side, since the very beginning, the Nehru tried to take the land, but China just doesn't know, because he never exposed his intention. And I want to say, there is a very critical issue between the China and India. Maybe it sounds very offensive, but since you already almost finished my video, so I must tell you, it's like that. One of the greatest reasons someone believe why the India and China they fight is because the India have the wrong expectation about the China's military force. From the India side, okay, because the China is on the very tough time, and the India and China also has had a great problem with two superpowers in this world. He didn't have a good relationship with the Soviet Union, also didn't have a good relationship with America, and also the supply chain is so hard, and also the China showed their weakness so many times. It didn't even fight with India. So this is the Nehru is so confident, and he truly believes that China can be crushed by him, because China doesn't have the power to fight against, and this is also the reason Nehru looks like so stubborn. I want to say this is really can be something even shocked India, and it makes the India just totally an expectation for the Nehru. This is also one of the reasons why the war breaks through. What I want to say is that I still keep my point. This is the reason between China and India should never happen. And the reason why it happened is because they don't really understand each other. The China doesn't understand the India's politics system and the India's culture and their intention to take all of the distributed land. And from the India side, India's perspective, India also don't know about China. They really don't know about China, and they don't know actually the Mao and Zhou Enlai. They are kind of like leader from the revolution. They are extremely experienced in the war and fighting. And the reason why a fighting master would not fight with you is not because they're weak, just simply because they're more confident. They believe they can control everything. Okay, so there's so many sensitive issues between China and India, and but I still believe we are friends more than enemies. And I also welcome you to subscribe my video, because we both need to know about each other. And later I'm going to upload more videos talking about the Chinese culture and help you to understand Chinese. So please subscribe me, and see you next time. Bye.